Hello, podcastlers, and welcome to another episode of the NHC Podcast. Today's episode is, as you should have been able to tell from the thumbnail, about Allosaurus. But we're doing something a bit different for this episode, in that, or rather, more specific than just Allosaurus. You may have noticed that two very interesting papers came out on Allosaurus. Well, one more interesting than the other, admittedly. The first being the Allosaurus jimmadseni finally got published after 20 years of the paper being in the works and 30 years since the holotype was discovered. And then the second paper being a study on the cheek region of Allosaurus, quite specific, but still quite interesting, with interesting implications for the third species of Allosaurus, Allosaurus europaeus. So we're going to be looking at those two species today. With obviously just a brief overview of Allosaurus in general, with regards Allosaurus fragilis. So, bit of a breakdown as to what Allosaurus is, although I assume you already know this. It's an allosaur, which is now possibly a carnosaur, if Asphaltovenator is anything to go by.
I mean, allosaurs were always carnosaurs.
Wasn't yes.
Carnosaur was the dinosaur already.
Yeah, Carnosaur. Yeah, I mean it's, but I never treated it as valid because it's just Allosauroidy +1. So that was my personal stance on the matter. But now that Allosauroidy may be more closely related to Megalosauroidy than it is to Tyrannosauria. But anyways, so Allosaurus. Oh, I'm getting echo here. Substantial echo.
Is it for me?
I don't know, possibly.
Edit this out.
Shouldn't be for me.
I'm gonna put as little effort in it as possible. Echoes everywhere.
No,
well, never. Okay, now it's better. The holotype of Allosaurus fragilis was, well, I don't know when it was discovered because that's ages ago, but it was described in 1877, where the holotype YPM 1930, which I just realized is a very odd, it's a very unfortunate taxon number. That the taxon of that YPM 1930 was described in 1877. But it led to the species Allosaurus fragilis. Spoiler alert, the holotype's pretty terrible. So as a result, there has been a proposed neotype, USNM 4734, which, although not yet ratified by the ICZN, will result in this being the neotype, the new sort of main, or like of equal importance to the holotype in defining and diagnosing Allosaurus fragilis. Now, through the decades, Allosaurus, like all of the big theropods, really, was in a bit of a mess with regards to the number of species, and even, of course, you had the whole genera being lumped with Antrodemus and Labrosaurus off the top of my head. So there was a ton of different species. There were 5, I believe, at one point, like prior to the jimmadseni paper, but we're not going to get into that. But we're not going to get into that because
the main point is the paper just says all of them, screw them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit of history into the jimmadseni taxon before we get into the recent paper. It was the holotype, which is Dino 11541, was discovered in 1990. At the time, they thought it was a distinct genus from Allosaurus. But once they were preparing the specimen in the 1990s, they realized it was actually a new species of Allosaurus, but still within the genus. The paper was being worked on, and the abstract was, where they first mentioned the name, was released in 2000, I believe, at SVP, probably. And so 20 years ago, the specimen was first informally named.
Wait, hold on. It wasn't in an abstract. It was in a full-on doctoral thesis. It's very
right.
long.
Yes.
Yeah. This also just gave a name to what would now be named Shaoqilong. Because
really?
it was formerly named Gilantisaurus maurituensis. It named it Allosaurus and also named some specimen of Yongchuanosaurus Sochonoraptor.
If you know, I think we're getting off topic.
Anyways, very big doctoral thesis. Anyways, so in the 2 decades that followed, they started working on the paper. But what happened is that the paper describing Allosaurus jimmadseni surpassed like 1,000 words. I think it passed 1,500 or something, meaning it would be too big to publish as a single paper. So for that reason, they decided to split it up, and which is why the paper we've currently got describes jimmadseni solely on the basis of the cranial material, the skull remains, which are usually the most diagnostic remains of dinosaurs, and that's usually, I think, why when you have multiple papers on a taxon, you divide it into cranial remains and then postcranial and then so forth. You'll have noticed this with the Scelidosaurus, this massive redescription that's been doing the rounds. And also the new Sornitholesti specimen. We've got the cranial paper, and now we're waiting on the postcrania. That's the same case with Allosaurus jimmadseni. What we've got is the cranial material paper now, and we're waiting on a postcranial material paper and a proper revision of the genus's species and the specimens that are controversial. You know, the specimens formally assigned to different species that we mentioned. Does anyone else want to do the echo?
Anyone else
Who's
wanna do the
echoing?
what?
Okay, who's sitting in a bat cave? Okay, because it's the only explanation that counts.
Does
It's not me.
hello, Yo-Yo?
Okay, Ro.
Do you have headphones? Do you have headphones, Yo-Yo?
No, but it's not for me. I can see it.
Hello, Philo.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully that makes it much better. I turned on my mic
Okay.
and then turned it off, and then.
Okay, now it's fine. So,
Lost
does
the
anyone
echo.
want to do? Does anyone want to describe the jimmadseni paper, or go through that, or shall I just hit it?
Oh, I do. I do.
Okay,
So
go for it.
it was. So the paper was released, if I remember correctly, around late January, and
Yep.
basically only described the skull, as Akira already said. It also added not only the holotype, but also 2 other significant Allosaurus specimens as referred specimens. Those being Big Al, who you might know from the BBC's Walk with Dinosaur special, The Ballad of Big Al, and also Big Al 2, which is on display at the Saurio Museum Atal, which has a myriad of Jurassic fossils, including those of Hesperosaurus, Cathodosaurus, Gallimimus, and Catodocus.
I'd
Both
just
of-
like to interject here to
yes.
point out that although the paper does refer Big Al and Big Al 2 and other specimens as well to Allosaurus jimmadseni, the paper only describes jimmadseni with regards Dino 11541, the holotype, and Big Al. It does not address
Yeah.
Big Al 2 because there is a separate paper in the works by others on Big Al 2.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And Big Al 2 has skin remains, which is also epic.
What?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty awesome.
It has preserved skin. It's one of only 2 Allosaurus to do so far as I'm aware.
Amazing. Yeah, so that's basically the gist of the paper. They diagnosed Allosaurus jimmadseni on the from Allosaurus fragilis on the basis, and they used I think it was the Dinosaur National Monument Allosaurus fragilis, which is the specimen that was described in an osteological paper in 1977, and also the proposed neotype at the USNM. They compared it on the basis that it had a much more bladed nasal region, if I remember correctly.
And the crest. The crest, it has
Yes, the
these
crest.
pinched crests,
Yeah.
which are either very reduced or not apparent in Allosaurus fragilis. The paper says Allosaurus fragilis lacks the crests, but that's a bit at odds with some of the specimens we have, which preserve a slight crest. So hopefully more on that when they discuss the genus in full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I
Also,
really hope they
bits
just put it down for
also,
species.
funnily enough, the cheek region of Allosaurus jimmadseni distinguishes it from Allosaurus fragilis. Although, as we'll get into shortly, not really from Allosaurus europaeus. But actually, on that note, I'll be sharing a picture of the 3 different species because, you guessed it. As of the jimmadseni paper, we've got now 3 species of Allosaurus that are still valid: Allosaurus fragilis, Allosaurus jimmadseni, and Allosaurus europaeus. Europaeus being the European taxon that was described in 2006. I'm just sharing the picture here of the skulls.
Yeah. Very beautiful.
Fancy with Chikao, jimmadseni is kind of flat in comparison.
I was completely wrong. Sorry, retract everything I said. Jimmadseni is distinguished from fragilis on the cheek region, and fragilis is more similar to europaeus in the cheek region. That makes more sense. Okay, I goofed.
Kind of does though.
You can also see like the tip of the snout is very different, with Allosaurus fragilis being much taller in that area.
Yeah.
What else? Oh yeah, the scale. Now, the Allosaurus jimmadseni Dino 11541 is one of the youngest, one of the youngest large Allosaurus jimmadseni, because Big Al is larger than it, but also subadult, and Big Al 2, which is the largest Allosaurus jimmadseni, insofar as I'm aware, at least largest well-preserved one, is an adult. And I think Allosaurus jimmadseni might slightly surpass Allosaurus fragilis in terms of size. Allosaurus europaeus obviously being the smallest of the lot. Also interesting to note that Allosaurus jimmadseni is from a younger member in the Morrison Formation than Allosaurus fragilis. So, fragilis follows jimmadseni. I highly doubt it, and I would caution against it, because I think it's a bit rich to assume the number of taxa we have from all this is just automatically going to be much, much lower. And especially considering we have the wild card European Allosaurus that is only going to cause more headaches when things eventually happen to discuss and debate and sort this stuff out. Some close-ups, some nice close-ups on the Allosaurus jimmadseni skulls will be shared now.
Beauty.
As you can tell, very pointy.
Yes, and also the crests. The crests are much larger than in Allosaurus fragilis, if you go back to the previous one.
Also, nice sclerotic rings. The only other Allosaur that I know preserves that is Allosaurus europaeus, which is pretty awesome. Look at that. It's not every day you get that in a large theropod.
True.
Like
that is the holotype, and now we'll go to the even prettier specimen, which is of course Big Al.
Yes.
Everyone's favorite Allosaurus, obviously.
He got beat up at school. Feel sorry for him.
Stop bullying.
I really do like the crests though on Big Al, and I really like how. Why are all the skulls why do they all have like really clenched jaws? So funny looking.
Clearly, that's their life appearance, and they lacked lip. I guess it's probably on account of impending death. Like, I mean, these taxa also snap their necks while dying. Like, they have if you look at the specimens, their pose, they have the traditional curved back neck.
Yeah, no. They obviously all have the neck snapped backwards in life.
No, they
I want that now.
They run around constantly screaming at the sky.
Guys, they committed ritual seppuku before they died, so that nothing would get them. I don't know, something like that. They broke their necks before they died.
Yes.
Because they didn't want to get killed by sauropods.
I've got a fire engine outside my flat, which is lovely. But anyways, let's continue.
Destroy it.
That's fine. It's pretty blue lights.
Oh, I didn't know you had.
I mean, I can't hear anything, so it's not that bad. Neither
can I. It's probably one of the other blocks in my.
Yeah, actually, Akira is just sitting in flames. This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Now,
gracious.
Not much more to say about Allosaurus jimmadseni. It's great, very interesting. But shall we get into Allosaurus europaeus now, which is
yes, we shall.
Spicy stuff.
Yes.
So
do it.
It was described in 2006, but I'm just checking my dates. 1 second. Okay, so however, I think a year after Allosaurus europaeus was described, and Allosaurus europaeus is based on skull, they discovered postcranial remains of an allosaur from the same formation, and that appears to be Allosaurus fragilis. However, on the basis of the skull differences, Allosaurus europaeus was still treated there have been people still treating Allosaurus europaeus as its own thing. Add to that, of course, the great geographical separation. One of them it's in Portugal, which would not at the time have been connected by a land bridge to the US. However, a few days ago, we had another paper on Allosaurus, because this year is turning out to be pretty good for Allosaurus. And this paper, as we said, was oddly specific and looked only at the cheek of Allosaurus. But it does have interesting implications, because the cheek is one of the parts that was used to diagnose Allosaurus europaeus, since that's one of the few bits that is preserved, as you can see in the picture of the 3 Allosaurus skulls. It's only the back half of the head that's preserved for Allosaurus europaeus. However, what the paper points out is that actually the quote-unquote diagnostic features for Allosaurus europaeus are not in fact unique to the taxon, and are present in Allosaurus fragilis and or I think Allosaurus jimmadseni. Allosaurus europaeus would share the paired crests with Allosaurus jimmadseni more so than Allosaurus fragilis. But if Allosaurus europaeus has no autapomorphies being unique, distinct features for the taxon, then it becomes quite tricky to diagnose it as distinct. You can still diagnose a taxon with no autapomorphies, which is called a unique combination of morphological features. So if it has features from both fragilis and jimmadseni, you'd argue it's got to be its own third thing that has some similarities. But then it's really also kind of subjective. However, there is good news, which is that a redescription of Allosaurus europaeus is in fact in the works. Although it's been teased since, I think, the late 2000s.
Yeah, it's just, assume it's going to be another 20 years or so.
No, but, we are getting a redescription. There was a tweet about how they're removing the skull how they're still working on removing more of the matrix from the Allosaurus europaeus skull.
Good.
Let me see if I can find the tweet now.
20 years, I'm calling it now.
I mean, well, maybe. Anyways, so, however, what the paper on the cheeks concludes is that Allosaurus europaeus is therefore basically dubious, because it doesn't have anything, none of the features used to distinguish should hold up. Which basically brings it down to 2 valid species and 1 dubious one. So, quite a victory for jimmadseni, in that it's basically all species of Allosaurus have been killed off except for it, which it has replaced all the other ones.
Allosaurus Battle Royale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank goodness it's getting clipped down, because there's so many. Like, when I saw the list on Wikipedia, I was like, okay, half of those are probably not even valid. Like, why are you gonna have Camptonotus amplus and Labras and Creosaurus on there? They're basically not really diagnostic, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes people on Wikipedia can be so stupid. Except for some, I will say. But anyway.
Yep. So, anything else to say? I think not. I think that's pretty much covered everything quite quickly. Do we want to go into pop culture?
Sure.
Into an obligatory pop culture segment?
I mean,
okay. Now, like we said, we're not discussing Allosaurus in general today. That's why it's been a bit of a shorter episode, because we're trying to really power through these great new papers. And
trying to please the algorithm, basically.
Yes. But we do have a few quite interesting Allosaurus depictions relative to jimmadseni and, of course, europaeus. The first one of these, of course, being, we mentioned it earlier, the Ballad of Big Al. So here's a picture of Big Al, starting us off strong. Can you identify the moment in the episode where it happens?
You are a cruel bastard. You know that?
Is that the one where he just busts his toe, or is that the one where he kills an Neorgnathid?
This is I think what?
Is it the one where he busts his toe open, or is it?
Oh, a Neorgnathid. Oh, I don't know why I heard Anhangueran. I was
You
wondering.
disgusting bastard. How
If
can
that's-
you
Miguel is traveling
No.
through time.
This
That's not a sequel I thought I would want, but I'll take it.
Why would you
basically,
Big
Philo,
Miguel teams up with Night Shyamalan.
this picture is less than a minute before Big Al's death. So this is his
Aw.
final moment. As you
Rest
can
in
see,
peace,
it does
brother.
have the pronounced a paired nasal crest, which shows that they probably did look at the Big Al skull, as you would expect.
The skull looks a
But
little too wide, though.
Yeah, why? Oh, we forgot to get into that. Yes.
Oh.
Why do the pop culture Allosaurus of Walking with Dinosaurs as well, which we'll get into in a moment, have such a short snout? Well, actually, that's because of the neotype, USNM 4734, which was reconstructed with a particularly short snout. I'll share a picture of it now.
Yeah.
Oh.
They fixed it up, by the way, recently when
Yeah.
they redid Deep Time, and so
Mm.
they just kind of pushed out the snout a little. It's got this
Yeah.
weird kink in the middle, but it's far better than what originally looked.
Yeah, basically, it's very deformed and also, I think, poorly reconstructed.
Yeah,
So,
that overbite though, I don't know how its mouth would have closed.
Yeah, I'm just confused.
overbite or underbite?
Oh, and
Which one?
It's
Yeah.
got a weird. I don't know. It kind of doesn't good fit. Like it needs an overbite. It's not gonna work because then its teeth would be like clashing against each other.
oh yeah. Ugh.
True. Well, that's deformity for you.
Do not
Uh,
touch him.
Anyways,
They have photos online of them, which is
But,
very good. It's sitting down
just
in
to cut back,
a nest of eggs.
you're lagging a bit for us. Although I assume Craig will fix that because Craig is amazing.
Except when he isn't.
Yeah, except when he decides to bugger off and not record. You can see the short-snouted Allosaurus most prominently in Walking with Dinosaurs.
Oh
I
god.
think there it's really clear how it's based on the holotype. I mean, you've got even the crests are almost identical.
Yeah. Hey,
Yikes.
upwards
But
pointy.
and I think it's most interesting to see in the subtle details how they fix the Allosaurus up for the Battle of Big Al. That is obviously the picture I just said is the scene from where they attacked the Diplodocus at the end of Time of the Titans from Walking with Dinosaurs. But this is Big Al's mother from Battle of Big Al, and you can see they've got a more pronounced paired nasal crest. They've also got this nice little. The crests aren't triangular, but there's a little bit of a kink in the back, which matches up with the actual skull of Big Al. I'll share that again now, just for you to compare the crests. If you'll notice, there's a little bit of a dip in the back.
Yeah.
So I like that they up.
Even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I also like the puppet that they used for the head. It's very well done.
I have a picture of that, I think.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll just
I
sit there.
love the crests. I like how like really fleshy the crests
here we
look
go.
and just like
I have it.
bright red.
It's
Yes, share that. Yeah, look at that. I love how gnarled it looks. Just like his head down.
I mean, working with dinosaur puppets are generally amazing.
I have another nice picture of the skull, by the way, of the puppet.
Also, why does it have a frog tympanum on its
That's something they have in general in the Walking with series. Oh, of course, you've got that one.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Beauty.
It's very fitting given the context and the order of the images.
Allosaurus has some pretty
Yes.
nice looking eyeliner.
Well,
Guys,
just because you're Jurassic doesn't mean you can't have style.
guys,
But yeah, just for
in
comparison,
the Jurassic it
yeah.
was long black and white stockings. For Allosaurus, it's black eyeliner all the way through.
Oh my god. This is gonna be an interesting reference for those people who get it.
Yes.
We shall not say what it is.
Yes, we shall not say, for we are
Here's
good
a
children of the
comparison
Lord.
as well. to see how the paired crests are like really diminished in the Walking Dinosaurs Allosaurus. So it's
They look
nice
like
that you
big
can actually
angry
kind of
eyebrows.
see. You can kind of see actual species differences, or at least specimen and nowadays species differences between the two specimens, which is really nice. In a hindsight sort of way.
Very
I assume
delicious.
you all know which Allosaurus I'm going to be bringing up next.
Obviously.
Allosaurus europaeus?
Yep. And which Paleomedia appearance has it had? Yo-yo.
Dinosaur evolution.
Are you called Yo-Yo? I do not think so.
I mean, we can't.
I mean, we can't prove him wrong, technically. So
You win this round. Fake Yo-Yo.
I've chosen for the first picture, of course, Broken Jaw's mother for reasons that are in the name, which is that obviously his mother does not have a broken jaw, and therefore is a much better representative of what the species would have been. How does that compare to Allosaurus europaeus? What would you guys say?
The cheek is definitely too flat. It's more like jimmadseni, I would say.
Yeah.
It's a little too
Reshare.
generic for my tastes.
The skull. Yeah, also the horns don't curve back, whereas if you look at Allosaurus europaeus skull, the horns are quite backwards pointing.
However,
True.
it does make sense in the context that Broken Jaw is based on an American specimen that I think Big L2 is jimmadseni too, isn't it?
No, it's based on Labrosaurus, the specimen of Labrosaurus, which is just like a broken dentary and a few remains, not Big L2. Big L2 is gorgeous. Show Big L2 some respect.
Well,
Something
that's
else
only
with
for
the broken jaw
Labrosaurus
as well.
ferox. I forgot what the holotype remains of Labrosaurus lucaris are, which is the type species of Labrosaurus.
I'm gonna show. This is I don't know, but this is what the specimen that's based on.
Yeah, that's Labrosaurus ferox's holotype.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So it's based on this, which is an Allosaur, most likely Allosaurus. Unclear which taxon. I'm gonna wait for the
It's
next
likely-
paper. I'm waiting for
It's
the next
actually
paper.
suspected to be. It's actually suspected to be the lower jaw of the neotype. By Matthew Carano.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. You can see
So
that
yes.
the teeth are resorbed in one area.
Because
Yeah.
one Big L2 had kind of fucked up jaw also, but I guess I was
It was not
misremembering
the
some stuff.
it's not the inspiration, no. It's definitely this specimen, and for comparison, here's Broken Jaw from Dinosaur Evolution.
Well, here's the thing that they got
Looks
wrong.
like a
The
cat.
teeth at the tip of the jaw should be resorbed. Like, if you look closely at the jaw, the Labrosaurus, Labrosaurus ferox jaw, you'll see that at the tip of the jaw, there's no area where the teeth are. But that's because after injury, the gums and tooth holes were basically resorbed. And so it would have been like a big bare patch of like skin or scar tissue probably around the tip of the jaw.
Yeah. Interesting how I just noticed the upper jaw's collapse is kind of like, obviously just very superficially, like the neotype of A fragilis, in that it's really smooshed up and everything.
It looks super
But,
weird.
I will say, what they do get nice about this one, if you compare it to the actual Allosaurus europaeus remain, is that they do have a bit of a prominent paired nasal crest. So that's nice. The horns are still a bit too upwards pointing, but at the same time, for all we know, could be like sexual dimorphism, which is, of course, everyone's go-to answer at this point. So maybe not, but we also only just have one specimen of Allosaurus europaeus, so variation is always possible. It's all right, but it's not really that based on a particular species. We've not really gotten that nice depictions, actually, of Allosaurus in popular media, have we? Just talking about the genus in general. Guys?
Maybe.
Don't look at me. How am I supposed to know?
Surprisingly enough,
I don't know.
like,
There are some that I'm just.
I
like,
mean,
well,
you were
okay,
boasting
maybe
you were
I don't
god
know.
on this episode, so you do it. You work.
No.
I mean, there's When Dinosaurs Roamed America, which is kind of pretty conservative, but not too bad. There's no real good pick of the skull, but I'll just share it anyways. It's just got two backwards
Okay.
pointing horns, not much of a paired crest. So in terms of skull shape, it's all right.
It's kind of generic big
It's
meat
pretty
eating
generic.
90s dinosaur, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really
I
do
don't-
like the design.
What-
in a
why
I
is
way.
mean, here's and then you have the other boyo, which is let me share his picture.
Uh-oh.
Which I really do not get what's up with that insane crest in front, the insane paired nasal crest.
I have no idea.
Okay. Oh wow.
It doesn't even have to. It's weird. It's weird. It ends so far in front of the eyes.
I think it's supposed to be like it has like here's I think a decent picture if it loads, yeah. It's oh god, it's pretty wacky.
Did
It's
America
got
no,
like
it's-
go American for
it's got like a little bit of a
a second?
brow casing. It's not even horns. It's more like a like a sort of mini parasol over its eyes. It's like
What?
sunglasses.
It's odd. No, it's not a good design in my opinion.
It's kind of
It's
interesting, but
interesting.
I do like the colors though. They look kind of moody in a way.
Yeah.
Sort of black on red. That's a good color
True.
pattern.
I guess.
Pretty well. We also got two other depictions in pop culture in a certain movie franchise with also a short movie stuff.
Shall we
okay,
bring
okay,
that one out?
okay.
Let's bring the second one out because that one's kind of cooler.
It's just
Battle of Big Rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can also say watch our video on.
If you want to check the video above, it's very informative.
So you can see this one's actually not too bad, which
I
is weird. I mean, it just has two crests, which is already a step up from the Planet Dinosaur one. Oh yeah,
It's
we
an
don't even need to
improvement
share
from
that
the
one.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom one, I'll say.
Yeah, but if
The
you
toy
compare,
looks
like,
much
what
worse,
what
honestly.
species shall we compare? Let's compare it to let's say Big Al, which rumor has it the Allosaurus specimens are actually based
Sure.
on. I don't know how they say they based the first one on Big Al, but this one I can kind of buy.
It
I
seems.
I mean, if you assume like
guess.
it's a little bit before, it's stylized, obviously, but like it beats out Planet Dinosaur for sure.
It's again too wide. It's too bulky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in terms of bulk, it looks more like Fragilus. Cheeks look more like jimmadseni.
Yeah.
But I
Because
mean-
those
Why
are
looking at its
diagnostic
cheeks, man?
unless you're Allosaurus europaeus.
I mean, at the same time, it's Jurassic World, so even if they say, oh, we based on this person, I'm sure they had like 10 skull pictures laying
I was trying
around,
to
plus a
make
bunch
little
of pop
side
culture stuff, and
comment
just
there.
kind of
Yeah,
mashed
guess
it all
okay.
together.
I guess.
Shall we look at the yeah. I have to bring out the practical prop, but I don't want to. No, look. If you
Do
look,
it. It's much better.
yeah, but if
Yeah,
you look
yeah,
at the
that's a much
crest,
better
you'll see
view.
it's actually
That's a
like
much
a
better view,
rectangle
honestly.
sticking up.
Yeah.
Like, let me just highlight that.
The eye also looks kind of awkwardly
It's
far
kinda
down,
awkward.
to be honest.
But the lower jaw teeth look kind of funky. Like I don't
Yeah,
think
they're
the ones at the tip
gigantic.
Oh,
would be
yeah.
that pronounced.
I'm just now
Hmm.
noticing how weird segregated the neck is. I assume this was that they would have put another layer over it, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Also, yeah.
Yeah, that's it looks like it had like it's just the armor on the all the stuff on its head, that's just a helmet and it's just got a bare neck.
It's just a skinny
It's
guy
like a suit
that's
of armor.
in an
You
Iron
fool,
Man.
it was I. It was I,
King
Teratophaneus,
Rexy,
all along.
please.
In the mask.
It's just a Teratophaneus with a mask on. My brother died on Isla
Nobody
Nublar.
cared about me
Uh,
before I put on the mask. I have no idea if you could hear this.
We could. I'm very confused, but I could.
Oh.
Ah,
There's
yes.
no ear. Or is there? Is that thing behind the bottom jaw?
Yeah,
no?
I get. Oh,
Please don't tell me that's the.
That looks so awkward, honestly.
No, I
let's
don't
move
think
on.
it's.
Let's move on.
I
Let's
think
move
it's
on.
just how, as I said, it doesn't look finished. So I assume it's just how
Yeah.
the neck attaches to the head.
I think.
What other Allosaurus have we had in pop culture? Like recently, obviously, you've got all the stop motion stuff,
Recent
Harryhausen
stuff.
and all that.
I don't know really.
Oh,
Let me think.
I do have one in mind.
Well, we could start talking about video game dinosaurs, in which case that's not
Actually, I just want to bring out one more, which is from
What's this?
Mammals
Oh, what
vs.
the-
What the
Ew.
hell is that?
Ew! What? Ew!
That
It's
show also
mammals-
had a pretty ugly looking
Mammals versus
Psittacosaurus.
dinosaurs. Yeah.
God, talk about
Looks like the
That
JP
show's
Rex, but uglier. And the what?
it's the JP Rex's brother who never
The
quite
failed
got
experiment.
out of the baby phase.
Oh my god!
He escaped. He's one of the
Yeah.
embryos from Jurassic
Oh, no.
Jurassic Park 3.
Anyways, yeah. Shall we move on to video games on that note?
Definitely,
guess.
because we're
Yeah,
gamers. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for a good picture of one right now.
Oh god. I don't know. I've got one as well.
Is this gonna be the carnivores Allosaurus? That one's horrible, and it's also really hard to kill because it freaker moves around so fast when you're trying to hunt it. I'm just saying, man, carnivores has some pretty difficult to kill carnivores because they move
You're
around
just
too
saying.
fast.
Oh no, Ark.
Oh,
Ah!
Why does he have white eyes? Is it
I have no
Herobrine?
idea. It's just on the pictures.
Herobrine
You're
Allosaurus.
brain Allosaurus.
Wait, no. What the? Is this a mod?
Armin, how dare you?
Armin, why have you forsaken us? How could you do this to us? You make me cry.
I make everyone cry. That's my
I
purpose
really
in
don't
life.
like the beak thing, like, or the hardened skin on the tip of the snout.
Mm.
Okay, I think
they
actually
took
I got the
hatchet
picture of the
bite to
mods.
another level.
Yeah, it kind of does look like it has a bit of
What'd you
red
say,
fleck
Armin?
around the mouth.
Uh,
Then again, they are also the same video game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if this is a mod or something, or if the regular is a little bit bulkier in terms of the head. I don't know. Arc is confusing.
Okay, well, shall I share an allo from another
Arc.
game?
Okay, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, what's this? Oh, we're gonna be talking about this. Hey, it's some katana money, I see.
Hey, at least, they've got the cheek all right for
Look at
Fragilis.
that.
They've
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
they've
that's
got
true,
the
that's
biggest
true. It looks kind
horns
of sunken,
I've
though,
seen
in the
for an
skull.
Allosaurus.
Yeah.
Like that's bloody insane.
Looks like Carno.
Yeah.
Uh,
The claws, though, are very inaccurate. They're very slender. That shouldn't be the case. By the way, pro tip for artists: if you see a dinosaur's claw in lateral view, that doesn't mean that they look that long when you look at them from the front.
Oh yeah.
Usually they're curved.
Also,
and
fun fact: what
so
they do
that's
get right,
normally how
which
it
is
is.
weird, is only giving one finger bone besides a claw to the first finger, and 2 for the second, and 3.
Yeah.
They've actually got the number of fingers correct. What they do have mixed up, which here's a little
Oh, really?
Actually, Prehistoric Kingdom actually don't have that on some taxa, but this is also the only
God.
taxon for which Mesozoica got it correct, so Prehistoric Kingdom still wins.
Great.
So-
However,
oh my
Still
god.
need
Oh,
to prehistoric
who's eating crisps, guys?
It's Leo.
I'm not eating chips. I'm literally.
You're getting a lot of static right now.
Okay.
I
Also-
just want to point out
Yeah,
another
okay, hopefully they
another
fix this issue.
accuracy bit. We didn't really talk about this because this isn't like fully confirmed, but a paper on Acrocanthosaurus hand range of motion, points out that for Acrocanthosaurus, which is interesting, the first finger would have been permanently flexed. It could not move not the first finger, the claw. The claw on the first finger would have permanently been flexed. It could not move it without dislocating the claw. And it's possible that to some extent Allosaurus had this as well. So Allosaurus would not be able to move its first claw, but it would permanently be like pulled tightly. Because this would have functioned as a hook, like to help hook into prey without like needing to like use nerves and muscles and all that on your finger.
Interesting.
Have it permanently curved. So that's another probable inaccuracy that Mesozoica have.
So we just had an Allosaurus with too big of a crest, probably.
Yeah.
So how about I fix it with the complete opposite?
Oh,
No.
If you don't might know what it is.
go for it.
Oh, this one. This is
Oh, God.
awful. Why does it have 2 fingers? Why are it?
What even is this?
This
What
is the
is it?
Jurassic World the game Allosaurus. It's possibly the worst. Does
No,
oh wait,
why
does
would you
Jurassic
name
World
Allosaurus?
Alive have an Allosaurus? And if so, is it better?
It's basically the Fallen Kingdom and the Battle at Big Rock Allosaurus.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is so weird to look at after Fallen Kingdom and Battle
It,
of Big
it's
Rock.
so fucking smooth.
Ugh,
It's
its skull.
smooth.
It looks so weird. It doesn't even look like a theropod.
It looks-
This
Honestly,
kind of looks
it
like
looks-
an
it-
Allosaurus.
It looks like a Rawasukian.
Yeah, it
That's
does
just-
kind of look like a Rawasukian.
That's a bloody Pustosuchus skull right there.
There are a lot of questionable design choices in Jurassic World the game,
I love the
especially
big
when you
toes.
level up the dinosaurs and mammals and sea reptiles and
Look at the toes.
whatever. Oh my god, the legs are so weird. Why are the heels so flexed? Why are its knees basically parallel to the ground? No.
Oh my
Why are
God.
why is its what would you call it why are its lower legs basically parallel to the ground? That thing can't walk that way.
It doesn't need to walk.
It just needs to stand still and turn to
Yeah.
stone. He's in the process of doing so.
Trying to die.
Okay,
Just throw him the
another
knife
game.
for him.
Okay, another game. Something to really combat this.
Ah, yes.
Ah, perfect.
Ah,
So, Allosaurus europaeus, if you see. Nice to pick a lesser species of Allosaurus for once.
Very
Not
good.
much
I really
flexibility.
like
It's nice.
I like the promo.
Mm.
I like the sand dunes and the coloring, the coloration on the behind. I'm not sure which color morph
Actually,
this is
here's
on this.
here's a better look at it. Wait,
I
Okay.
think it's Badlands.
here you go.
Thank you, Yo-Yo.
It's so
No
dark,
problem.
like with the marsh skin, but the crest is more pronounced than in the wild skin.
Yeah, this is much better than their original form, kind of. I did like
I
the
will
one
say
where
though.
they had
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
feathers and whatnot. I did like the one where they had the feathers and it had kind of weird banding. I forget how it looked though, because that was in the demo.
That was
Yeah.
old.
The jugal could afford to be a little bit more pronounced if it's a europaeus.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it's not too bad.
I feel like the skull goes a little bit too much to the back, to the neck.
Yeah.
Kind of like a snake. I don't know.
Yeah,
God damn
no,
it,
that's true. That's true.
All
Philo!
the better to open up.
What the
Why?
hell are you doing over there?
Sorry, I'm lying on my bed and my phone hit my wall.
Nice. Nice.
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
I'll stop moving. Sorry, I'm just being kind of stupid right now.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yo, that is too far back. But
Some
yeah,
people
the rest.
said that the legs, where the legs start, is too, like the muscles are too pronounced. I saw that in one server, I think. I mean, I
They
don't
should
kinda
know
sink-
how I feel about it.
I think it's all
They should kind
right.
of sink into the tail, probably.
Yeah,
I do like the
know.
coloration though.
all right.
Very tiger, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. Also, its tail is inverted Dilophytus legs from walking with dinosaurs.
Oh God. Well, shall we move on?
To what?
I mean,
don't know.
Path of Titans has
Wasn't
Oh,
there
true. Path of Titans. Always got to bring it round. Anything.
here it is. I think of the new species,
Go for it.
correction or something, or version, or I don't know.
that
Oh.
thing. Oh. God, those eyes.
The eye.
God, the teeth
Oh.
without the lips look so awkward.
Yeah. That appears to be. It's all right. It's an all right Jimmadseni, actually.
The crust
Just
looks
weird.
kind of funky.
Lips. Yeah. They're a bit forward pointing, but I guess that could also be keratin as well.
I
The eyes
guess.
look a little sunken too. But it's
True.
not bad.
No,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. No.
It looks kind of derpy, to be honest.
It
Oh,
looks,
yeah.
it does look.
It
kind of
looks
dirty.
really contemplative. Hey guys,
That one annoying friend.
Hi.
That owl.
how you doing?
Oh my god.
He looks too clean. He needs kind of a. I don't know.
He
I
needs
don't like
some.
the look.
It's very underfleshed, not just in terms of lip, but also you've got. Look at the post-orbital fenestra. Even
It
the
looks-
orbital fenestra, even the ant-orbit, all of the fenestra are just under fleshed, except for the nostril one.
It looks like a
This is the other
Utyrannus
one,
with
I
that skull. Okay, that's much better. I
Yeah,
like
this is
that
the other
look.
one.
Okay, yeah, that maybe it's the lighting and the angle.
I think this should be.
Does it have a cat eye?
I'm not sure what species this is.
Oh yeah.
I really like this. I really like the setting and it's in too. It looks very pretty, very fitting.
Yeah, true. I like it.
Arms look a bit too bent far back.
Oh,
like
the
that-
coloration is
Oh, God,
so
yeah.
much better than the original.
That's some Naruto arms though. That's fine.
Naruto arms? Huh.
Look at its arms. They could not bend those that far back. I'm certain.
It wants to be in a
Could
belly
if it
store.
wanted to.
So yeah, is there any other game that has Allo?
I mean, I'm
Well-
sure there's going to be a lot of games, but of the notable ones, I think that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, the big ones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Big
I
ones for
can't think
better
of
or
any.
for worse. Mostly for worse.
Yeah. Allosaurus surprisingly not represented that well.
Weird.
It's a shame. That being said, considering the mess that its skeletons and taxonomic situation have been in, kind of makes sense. But hopefully, we're getting clarity on that soon.
I want to see some papers on Allosaurus maximus, Saurophaganax, stuff like that.
I mean, yeah.
Was there
That's
something in the works or that, or?
I don't know. No, not insofar as anyone's aware.
Oh damn. Sad.
Yeah. Oh well. I think we should start wrapping up now.
I
Yes.
think so too.
How long has it been?
It's been
Kalamic,
like
I was watching
50
this.
45 minutes. Anyway, so oh, by the way, I forgot I mentioned this at the start. I'm joined today by Armin.
Hello.
Yes.
Here as
Hello.
usual.
Yay.
And Yo-Yo.
Yay!
Goodbye.
See ya.
Adios, people.